You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Justified After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Justified After Show.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AFTERBUZZ TV after show for Justified, Season 4, Episode 8, titled Outlaw. I'm your host, John Comerford, and I'm joined in the studio by Tamara Berg.
Hey, everybody.
Joe Braswell.
Hello.
And Steve Bottomley.
Greetings.
And steering this portless ship is Marissa Serafini.
Hello, everyone.
Slowly towing us into Mobile, Alabama.
Exactly. Okay. Scorched Earth, Hitman crazy, body count high, blackmail, we saw murder, we saw all kinds of things, but we got to start off with Arlo and his demise. I didn't see it. I mean, I thought, Arlo would be around for just about every season.
I would have thought so, too. I was very surprised by his.
Yeah, and, as we try to stay away from some of the spoilers, so we had no idea. No. I don't know if anybody else did.
No clue whatsoever. No. Did not see it coming.
And it was, in typical Arlo fashion, the catatonia, or however you pronounce that, as in that scene, and then him going crazy with the, oh my God, that was just a violent upheaval. Yeah. And very Arlo-like, because he's one of the angriest men, as we said, as Natalie Z, in the first episode, she said that Raylan was one of the angriest men she's ever known. Obviously, Arlo is angrier.
Gets it honest. Gets it from dear old dad.
Yeah, that was a lot of cathartic going on there.
Yeah, the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
No, wow. And then, of course, the scissors in the heart.
Right. I mean, what a way to go for, I think, for Arlo. It was great. It was sort of a great way to go out for Arlo. He got both. He got a spectacular fight, death scene, and then he got his sort of big FU at the end to Raylan with the kiss my ass. Yeah. So he got to see Arlo go out in different ways, and just going back to not seeing this coming at all, and I was really wondering, plot-wise, how Arlo's in jail. He killed a guy. He had killed multiple people. Yep. He's in jail, presumably for life. He's killed a guy in prison. So there's not much more story-wise we can go. He's not going to have some elaborate breakout. He wasn't going to get a deal.
It wasn't an elaborate breakout, but the deal, although everybody's trying to stop it from happening, who knows if but so there was that possibility.
The deal only got him into a country club, though, so he was still going to be in jail. So it was kind of
but point, Arlo in a country club is 2 steps away from
being free.
Out.
That's a very good point.
But that's why it was such a surprise to me, because I could see them positioning Arlo into the country club, and then he's going to start the whole thing over there, and it's going to be. I love the way that they did it, which was it was really Raylan's story.
Yeah, clearly.
Arlo's death was absolutely, including the confirmation was a toss-off. I got the call an hour ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The moments that they gave Raylan to that, the moment where he was at Arlo's bedside, and it was.
I know. Well,
what wasn't said was.
But it started before that, but when he had to leave there, and he was in the elevator, goes to the elevator, and he's thinking about it, and you even asked.
Yeah, but was there a tear there actually? Well, even before, I think you're talking about before.
No. I was talking about when he was in the hospital, when Arlo was in the hospital.
Yeah.
When he was saying, "Give me something," when he's saying, "Give me," there's 2 separate notes of the first.
But I'm saying I thought the elevator scene happens before he goes to the hospital. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. No. There are 2 elevator scenes. When he leaves the second time.
Right.
When he's going, there are 2 times. Before he goes to see Arlo in the hospital, they have a moment with him in the elevator.
The elevator is when he goes to confirm the body. So there's one where he's alive. So
I don't. Okay, I misremembered.
No, but it's all the same. So that was at the end. At the end there, when Art says you got 2 days. Look, I'm gonna go down. I'll review the body. He then gets up. He has that moment in the elevator, like, oh my God, my dad's dead, which is what I take it as. Right. That's when I thought I saw the tear, and that's when we saw the toe tag shot. Before that, when he got the news, he was with them. He was with the MILF psychic. And then he came back to her and was like, it's just this guy. And there was a bit of emotion there. You saw there was some emotion there. But then he went to the hospital and had that change.
Yeah, and the point there was what was not being said. And I just kept thinking, okay, well, here's everything that you've always wanted to happen to Arlo. And you always wanted to be there when he died.
Right.
That was always his drive.
He
it's like,
I'm
going to see you. And now you're here. It's like, well, what is the measure of the man when he's in that moment?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought they wrote it so nice. What he didn't say, what he couldn't say. When he's saying
what he wanted to say, I mean, all those things.
When he's saying, give me something.
Yeah.
You know what he's asking for, but he can't, and he even says, I'm not looking for love. But all the subtext in there is like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, give me something.
You're as horrible as the guy is. He's still your dad. And
it's like, I've made complete peace with who you are and who you're not going to be.
Right.
That being said, give me something.
Well, Hope Springs Eternal. He wanted something redeeming, and all he got was kiss my ass.
I mean, we were just talking about this on the way over because we saw a movie last night that had the same theme going on:
Clearly,
a father and son, horrible conflict, and you said it that that's what every guy wants from his dad. Well, I mean, every person wants from their parent.
It's a very American story.
But,
was it the Brady Bunch?
Yes, exactly it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually a movie called
Before the Devil Knows
You're Dead.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. And
of course.
Really good movie, really interesting.
Yeah, but it's just something redeeming, and all he gets is kiss my. And I'm just really thankful that they stayed true to the character. Arlo just says kiss my ass
to the very end, of course.
The question I have on that setup is, who sent the convict sheriff? Who sent him in to do Arlo?
To do Arlo?
Yeah. He was the guy who was going to whack Arlo. And he said, I'll do it quick. And so I just don't know who sent him in
I think
to
he
whack
sent
Arlo.
them because he didn't want Arlo to get the deal. He wanted to make sure he was the only one that knew that Drew's alive. He knows Arlo knows. If I get rid of him, then I'm the only guy that knows. And therefore, I can get the deal. I can do whatever.
You don't think any? Okay, all right.
So, because that's what Raylan said. There's somebody else in here who can tell. He figures out it's Arlo. He goes, "Oh, right, okay. You think Arlo's gonna get? No, Arlo's gonna be dead, and so I'm gonna be the only one that has this info."
Okay,
that's my guess.
Does he have a grudge? I can't remember exactly, but does that guy have a grudge with Arlo besides what was happening there? I can't remember. But
you mean that particular sheriff?
Yeah,
inmate?
that sheriff inmate. He was very much like
Hunter. Yeah,
it's almost like I know Arlo's in here, and then it feels like once he found out Arlo was in here,
well,
it's like I'm gonna get that
I can
guy.
only surmise that if he was a sheriff and
Arlo's got a grudge against Arlo.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, they might have crossed paths every now and then. So who doesn't have a grudge against Arlo? So, let's put it that way.
I did want to just comment just really quickly on what you're saying. Back to those moments and those beats. Again, I want to just bang the drum on Oliphant, Timothy Oliphant's acting. I mean, what he does without doing anything, what he says without saying is so Emmy-worthy. It's just fantastic performance. This is one of his best performances of the series because I saw everything. It's his father. All we know about Arlo, all we know within 4 seasons about his relationship with Arlo, we saw it on his face in those 3 scenes, and it was spectacular to me, And then I thought it's just a spectacular job, and I agree. I'm so glad they stayed true to the character of Arlo, and he got to kiss my ass, and I thought the whole thing was both beautiful and sad and just wonderful.
And he could have, they could have easily had Arlo say something like giving him a name or something, just and it wouldn't have been any kind of. It's not like it's going to be a heartwarming Hallmark moment. Sorry, Tamara. Or anything like that. But that could have also been plot worthy. They could have done all kinds of things and still been satisfying. But to have him just say "kiss my ass" was rather poetic, I think.
The other thing that they really played with you on, he takes the scissors.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's done. Nope. He's still alive. Really? Okay, so he's gonna
old bastard.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is why I love the throw off line when you finally like, oh no, oh he was dead. Okay.
Yeah.
What was Arlo was saying something, and of course I watched the scene like this, through fingers
Covering
crossed
your
in
eyes,
front of my eyes because I can't handle the gore. But it seemed like Arlo was saying something when he was doing the stabbing. Was that anything intelligible that anybody could get?
It happened so quickly. I didn't know what he said.
Okay.
But it was like, take some of this or something.
Yeah, it was like some ass whooping.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay,
like,
I didn't know if it was anything important.
Yeah, no, I think it was just like
okay.
you MF cake this
oh,
that.
He wasn't saying who Drew Thompson.
No. I know who Drew Thompson is.
Drew
Thompson
I'm not
going to tell you ever.
Yeah, it was. I love this scene. I just thought like, wow, Arlo's a tough old bastard. He's like he's in there,
But it's really interesting that they decided to kill off Arlo because that was a huge driving force
for Raylan. Yes,
motivator, character builder, the whole thing, and now that's gone. So it's going to be interesting to see what that does to Raylan.
Yeah,
because he's already affected by it, even though he's trying not to be and putting up a good front and all this other stuff, and is he going to throw himself into his work even more?
You think we're going to see some PTSD?
No, not PTSD so much, but just
but a form of it.
Well,
where,
something the unfinished business that he never finished. So that's going to find its way out somehow.
Well,
and Raylan's becoming a dad too.
Yes,
in theory, except I know his baby's going to get killed. But so we've been talking about that all. Sorry.
Well, here's the thing.
That's cheery.
If the baby does die, it's just probably going to be in a horrible way based on this episode.
Right.
The squibs are back.
I don't know though. They wouldn't do.
No.
I can't say they wouldn't do that to a baby, but Graham Yost would do. Maybe we wouldn't see it for sure. We wouldn't see it.
Do we know?
I don't think the FCC would allow it. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. Hey, on the aside, do we know what the body count is this time around?
I thought it was 9. That's what I counted.
Oh my God, yeah, I stopped counting
for tonight's episode.
That was too many. And I don't even know if the guard in the prison.
That was the thing. I counted the guard in the prison.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Well, that's true.
And I also liked, by the way, that there was that Arlo got hit in the heart, that he got stabbed in the heart. I thought that was good.
I think that's why he held on.
Yeah, but for two reasons. I like that he held on. And he has no heart.
Right, exactly. It's a tough old bastard. That you can't penetrate this heart with some scissors.
Stone.
It's made of stone. Or
you know what? I like that they show all the different scissors on the wall.
Yeah.
Like he has to choose.
But seriously, what prison do they have that in? I'm
sorry.
Like,
what the hell?
No.
What? Yeah.
What?
Here are your weapons of choice.
Exactly.
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Then again, it's a prison with Arlo in it, so they make shivs out of toothbrushes. So I don't really think. But you'd think they would all be blunted off and whatever. Anyway, so okay.
That's what you were saying about the family, and back to your question about how this may or may not affect Raylan PTSD wise or otherwise.
Right.
I think that this is, to me, it's going to just really strengthen his resolve to take care of his family. I think this whole season, that is about Raylan. I didn't really get this earlier until tonight and until I read this article, which I'll talk about later, but his whole season is really about Raylan really wanting to solve this case so he can get promoted, so he can make more money, so he can be a better, upstanding guy.
Right.
This is like, so this is his big break.
Right.
If he solves it. So I think that like this is, now that Arlo's gone, it's more of a, it's like he has no family. The only family he has is in, Natalie Z's tummy.
Right.
And,
and let's face it, he wouldn't even tell former Sheriff Hunter.
Right.
Why he was doing all this, so he didn't even give him that satisfaction.
Right.
We know what it is, but he is using it to goad Sheriff Hunter in next week's episode. Like, you can write your own ticket, and he's saying that to himself. If he solves this, and he even says it to Art in this episode. Look, don't you want to retire on this?
You can retire. I can get promoted. Let's do it.
So the huge driving force, and he's trying to break the cycle of his father to him, and him to his son.
It is interesting because it is, they are pushing the family.
Yeah.
Right, because Boyd and Ava
but they keep taking his family away.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've only seen his wife once. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now his dad's gone. The girl he had a relationship ripped him off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, bummer for him.
I really hope,
Hates to be Raylan.
Yeah. Well,
boy, that would suck.
Minus the sleeping with all the beautiful women.
I know, you'd be really good. You'd be a really good-looking badass, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It might be worth the trade-off.
He is a crack shot. You're gonna give him that.
Yeah.
Before we get on to the next one, which is where we're gonna be talking about our hitman from Detroit, we want to thank everybody for downloading and going to iTunes and giving us your comments. It started less than 3 years ago. We had a couple of guys around a mic. There was like 2 guys around one mic, and then less than 3 years later, we got 20 million downloads a week. It's all because of you downloading and telling a friend and commenting. So we want to thank you for that. And Tamara has some specifics.
Yeah, I have a couple just shout outs to BVA75, who wrote a very nice comment. Also Rashid Lynn, who enjoyed our analysis. And and to Dean, Lost in Los Angeles, who thinks we're funny and smart.
Whoa.
Fooling him, aren't we?
Nice.
But thank you for your comments and
Well,
your
he's
ratings. We really appreciate it.
Los Angelino, so what do they know?
Right,
So, hey,
exactly.
all right, so the hitman, Detroit. Theo Tonin brings in the hitman.
Oof.
Holy smokes.
Well, by the way, that was great too, because that was a good reveal. I thought for sure that guy was a sheriff. I bought it.
Yeah.
And then boom. And I also like Frank with his detail, his bodyguard. Right. And I go, what kind of bodyguard puts his gun down when somebody knocks on the door?
Somebody comes to the door.
Yeah, doesn't he check who, does he look through the window or something, or people, anything? No, he puts the gun down.
You know, it's just another one of those characters where it's
exactly.
You know, and they just stand there.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's wearing a uniform.
Yeah, I know, but even still.
Taking pictures.
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
quiet.
the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah,
I love that.
And the thing about it is, it's interesting to hear the dialogue.
Right.
Oh, so you're not the guy.
Not the target.
Oh, you know, mistakes happen. It's like, no, you're dead anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Duh.
You're dead anyway.
Right.
If you see
Not
this
the-
guy.
Yeah, it's like you're not the target. Crap, I still have to work today.
Yeah, exactly. Not getting
And
paid.
just because of that, I'm shooting you.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
You know, they did that a few times in this
Yep.
episode about, you know, sorry you saw me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Colt
Mm-hmm.
did it. We'll get to that.
Yeah, a few
storyline later, but-
misdirections. All sort of misdirection. Like we have a moment where you think, well, maybe they're gonna make it
Yeah,
out.
because I
And
kept
then
my
they-
eyes closed.
Right. Exactly.
So, but I thought it was interesting that this guy kills more people than malaria.
Yeah. Love
And
that line.
Yeah.
Love
just
it.
Love that line.
Starts
Yeah.
out, he's on a body count. I mean, does he get paid by the pound of people that he kills?
Yeah, he's,
I mean,
Like I said, he just wants to get his day over with as quickly as possible. I'm sure.
I'm on a quota here.
Yeah. Well, again, just great, you know, the Grammy great character. This guy, you knew everything you need to know about this guy within the malaria line, and then he's all business. He takes care of, presumably, this bodyguard. I mean, in that moment, you kind of get the impression he's some ex-military, probably spec ops maybe, because he was they had all the guns all laid out on the table, and he said something to the effect of, you know, I told you don't say who you are. Like, you know, I'm trying to tell you how to do this, and by the time he figured it out, he was dead. But you know, this hitman was savvy enough to come in, take out the super guy, take out this other guy, and all business. Go in there, get the phone, take out this guy. So I was really afraid of this guy until, of course, Raylan just let him know who's boss.
You know, your hero is only as good as the villain.
Exactly.
So you know, your bad guys better be really good.
And that was a great gunfight there between Raylan.
With Raylan,
it was really quick, but it was expected. I mean, sometimes they draw these things out. Like we've had scenes where you know it's going to happen, and there's a lot of banter and talking back and forth, and this was they had a little banter, but they got to it.
Yeah, they got to it.
Well, here's what I loved about it. First of all, he walks in the room. You go, oh my God, someone's going to die, because that's all this guy does. In the middle of it, Raylan says, hold on a second, is that an engagement?
Yeah, I love it.
Throws that line in there,
Love
which
it.
again, okay.
Hang on a second.
In fact, that whole scene ends with the funniest damn line they have written yet. But when they have the gunshot, there was an effective use that they've not used, which is the flashing, the strobe, and all of that. And again,
the barrel.
You hear Boyd scream.
Yes.
Those are two moments where you go,
like,
whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on with
And
Boyd?
there was
It's not like he's not used to gunfire.
Right. There was also squishy blood sound, but we didn't see any blood.
Yeah, well.
So there were all kinds of things going on that were different and unsettling, and I think that's part of the reason why they never want us to rest. They want us to always be wondering.
Well, I've got the tension was definitely up in here, and the
Great.
pacing was back, and everything. This was this. To be honest, this is the episode I wish had come in a few before.
Same.
You know?
They're ratcheting. It seems like they're building to something. They're ratcheting up the tension and ratcheting up everything. And
The
back to
body
that
count, everything.
yeah,
ratcheting.
and back to that gunfight. I think I agree. I think it was very well executed, very well shot. And you know, there's only so many ways. We've seen Raylan in 1,000 standoffs. We've seen Raylan, and we know he's a quick draw. So there's probably only so many ways we can see him outdraw someone. So that was a very creative way to do it. Have this sort of strobe, and then of course Raylan's like,
yeah, but none of that was.
You know,
close, for them, at close quarters or right on top of each other, pretty much. And then, you know, one shot, of course, was not. Usually, one shot was Raylan's. It's pretty much all he needs. But then he's like, what is it, 5, 6 bullets?
And his line, I hope I was right.
Jesus,
I hope I got that right.
I got that right.
I was trying to figure out what the guy's tell was, how Raylan knew.
Funny.
You know, and I'm trying to think.
Well, he walked through it.
You know, it was the thing. Did you just give me an order?
Right. And if you don't,
and then they got pulled.
I'm gonna shoot you. Yeah.
And then before that,
and then he pulled.
He's putting it together before that. It's like I just left Shelby.
Just with Shelby.
Shelby's not going to send a guy. Who are you again?
Yeah.
And what's happening? You know, and you
it's
give me
been
an order.
And he even the clue for me was the whole thing's been a weird day.
Right.
Yeah.
And the whole fact that the 2 other people have been shot, and he just had a conversation with Shelby, so somebody killed those people.
Right.
So.
My dad just got scissored.
Yeah. Yeah. Scissored. So, but it was good. And now, coming off that, we also got get reacquainted with Nick Augustine from Theo Tonin's crew.
Yeah.
And Boyd having a conversation with him.
Boyd definitely having that conversation with him, turning the tables on poor Win Duffy, who seems to be, he's always one step away. We talk about him he's almost there, and he's back down the ladder, and he's almost in power, then he's kicked back down, and even now it's like, he's like, do you want to do a deal with the guy who took you, or the guy who took the guy? I forgot how he worded that, but it's kind of like, oh yeah,
the guy who took you, or the guy who took him.
Right, exactly.
Duffy is a survivor.
Yeah, and you never want to be against Win, but go ahead.
But I'm not sure Duffy's going to survive.
He may not survive.
I mean, I think letting Arlo go, I think they're kind of like ramping up. We may be clearing house because
it's time
I keep forgetting. I think I ask this every damn week. Is it 1 more season or 2 more seasons that they're thinking?
Didn't we say that he was thinking 6?
He wanted to go
6. He wanted to go 6.
If he could have
in
6,
a perfect world.
in a perfect world, he'd go 6. And there's no indication based on interest and ratings of that would, they would stop. 5 would be, unless 5 takes a dramatic left turn.
Yeah. Right.
We should get 6.
Well, I mean, they are positioning all kinds of, hell to fall, but I'm not. Well, that's a prediction, so we won't go there yet.
Right.
I don't want to get in trouble with Marissa.
Yeah.
She's a taskmaster. But
She'll
yeah,
just cut
I love
your
Boyd just sitting in there, and everyone that comes into the holler, their biggest mistake is to underestimate the
Boyd.
Locals.
Yeah, and especially Boyd.
These guys grew up with him.
Right.
How about Boyd though? I mean, really, great. Using my enemy is my enemy is my friend. So here he is.
Well,
getting Nick Augustine to help him out with first of all, he gets the hitman. He gets Win to kill off his his enemies list or whatever.
Right.
And then he uses them. He uses Nick, the same people, to help him with this. Like, what? How does he do?
Yeah, nice.
And they're of course they want to do it because it's to their advantage. But how does he figure all this out so quickly?
He's clever because he doesn't do those drugs.
Now, I will use this opportunity to sort of give myself a small pat on the back.
Oh, okay. Well, please.
Because I did
Don't
last
strain
week.
yourself.
I did last week predict that Boyd would use the Detroit folks to turn the table on the Cherry Hill people and get his revenge. However,
I don't remember that.
I remember that back, Marissa. I did say that.
We're gonna have to go to the archive.
However, I was wrong because I did say there would be a bloodbath, or we're gonna see Boyd kick some ass, and Boyd's gonna come out guns blazing, and it wasn't Boyd. He pulled out the chessboard.
Yeah. He did exactly.
He pulled out the puppet strings.
He was the executive.
Exactly. Not a shot fired.
Right.
He's still like keeping his hands clean theoretically, and avoided killing the guy like they said. He masterfully did the whole thing, and then got Win Duffy out of the picture, and now he's sitting pretty. Like that was really
is he sitting pretty? Because I think
at the end of this episode he's sitting pretty.
And if you think about it, if you think about it, the only reason he's alive is because of Raylan. Because
right.
Detroit was bringing him over to Duffy.
He was going to be
that was so. Had Raylan not had a weird day,
again.
Raylan saves his ass again.
Well, he did say,
and he did scream like a girl.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying, something's going on with Boyd.
Well, when you talk about what this is all building to, and this isn't really. It's a prediction, but it's a broad stroke prediction, so I'll just say it. But like what this is all building to, maybe in season 6, if we're lucky enough to get there, is he mentioned like who's big enough to take down Theo.
Yeah,
right.
And I answered, I'm like, Raylan. So I mean, maybe after all of these villains, maybe Theo comes into Raylan and into Harlan in season 6, and I don't know. That's it's a
he killed his best hitman, or what appears to be his best hitman. So that's
they keep talking about
that's his name.
Mr.
Malaria.
Larry, they call him.
Larry.
Larry.
Good one, John.
Boyd and Ava keep talking about the 3 generations, and I'm saying they better get started because
seriously.
Okay, speaking to this, I'm sorry, but I got to interrupt because isn't it interesting that Raylan is losing his family?
Yeah.
And Boyd and Ava starting their own. We used to be, trying to get, Winona and Raylan together,
right.
family, the whole thing. And that's just gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the only quote family-friendly thing we have is between Boyd,
between the outlaws,
between Bonnie and Clyde here.
Right.
They want to make youngins
and he's used the term cousin Johnny a few times. So they are definitely positioning Boyd and Ava as the family unit.
Right.
And as the world starts to spiral, as it does.
Yes.
they actually are like the family unit, because everyone else,
because they're the most stable of all of them.
Weirdly so. And it reminds me of, The Godfather, where Michael's saying, look, in generation or two, we're going to be totally legit. We're going to be out of this business. Everybody in those crime
they just want to get legit.
Obviously, in movies and TV, I don't know how it is in real life, but they all want out, and they all think they're going to do it within a generation.
As Corleone himself said in 3, every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
I'll tell you exactly how it is, John.
Yes,
we all want.
Share with us, Tammy, you mom-friendly person.
But here's what Boyd's learning is that it never stops.
Yeah, you can't.
The people that he's emulated, the people he wants to be, pull him into a room and say, no, we need some dirty work done.
Right.
You're
going to do it.
Let's get into
taking
that.
Out the trash.
Yeah, because they even say to him, look, I got a guy to mow my lawn. I have someone to do my pool. And
he was very
you're here to take out
Kentucky
my trash.
derogatory. Like, I got a boy to do my pool. I got a boy to take out my trash.
Did you not learn the other day?
No. That's what's so great about those lines, because as the audience, you know what those lines, the weight those lines are carrying.
Yes.
Yeah. They're throwing it off, but we're like going, oh God.
Yeah.
You did not just say that.
Yeah. All that.
No, you didn't.
And I like the parallel scene from the first time he's meeting with the Cherry Hill Gang or whatever they're called. When they in this episode.
I like the Cherry Hill Gang.
When they're telling him what we need from you, and then the last one where he says, well, none of these is your hitman dead, but Frank is dead, and so is one of you.
Right.
So, so they're on notice, basically.
Yes.
The guy pulls out his cell phone. He's gonna, I'll show you. It's like,
exactly. And Frank, when he first goes to Frank, Boyd first goes to Frank. He says, look, what's your life worth? You basically pay me, and I won't kill you. Now, what is he doing to these guys? The exact same thing. Except now he's got a number put to it, 100 grand for each, and a DQ.
Yes.
Gotta have the DQ.
Like gotta have that cherry on the top.
California real estate is what he says.
Yeah. Absolutely. DQ.
I just want to go back to that initial scene with Boyd and the main one of the Cherry Hill guys, that opening scene. I loved that scene. I mean, when you spoke to it, that was the word I was going to use. The hubris there was on this guy, the gall on this guy, telling Boyd. I mean, even just like such little respect for Boyd. He even as, okay, I know you're a criminal. I know you know what you're doing, but let me tell you how to break into this guy's house. Here, you probably want to use this thing. You probably want to go, and you want to make it. And Boyd's like, you've done this before. Like, no, but I know everything.
Right.
I'm a big shot. I'll tell you exactly how this is going to go. Which is just like, how would you
Yeah. What I liked even more in that scene is at the end of it, when Boyd's saying, why don't I just kill you right now? And the guy, he doesn't even flinch. He just, well, you could do that. I don't know if it's worth it to you. And he's kind of like nonplussed about the whole thing.
He's not impressed by it.
Not impressed
at
all. Not threatened. Not in any way. But what is it, 24 hours later when he's got him in the room again, and all that happens, and nobody on the phone, and that's the look of fear on that guy's face, like, oh,
because Boyd has a list now.
Yeah. Well, that's just speaks to, again, it speaks to these level, what I think in the world of these backroom guys, if they exist, who are smoking the giant cigars and the big leather chairs. Yeah. It speaks to the hubris of these guys who think like, well, yeah, you could kill me, but who's gonna kill me? I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
He's so insulated. He's got such protection.
Well, like, kill me, like you're a little guy, that's not gonna happen. And so even when he's faced with Boyd in the other room, it took him a while to be like, what, wait a minute, you kill our, you're dead, let me make some calls here. And he starts making the calls, and then you see it sink in, like, the power is slowly slipping away. I love that. Loved it.
Oh, it wasn't slow.
Yeah.
No, it was about 10 minutes.
Yeah, what was the pucker factor in that scene? I think that was rather high.
Yeah.
So it's a 9.8 on the pucker factor.
You know what was interesting for me on that scene when he was explaining, and gave him the time frame and everything. And again, I don't know if you guys got it, but Boyd saying, well, now if someone were waiting for me, it's like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because again, they're playing it like this guy's just, you don't know what you're doing because you're not wealthy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And Boyd is always one step ahead of, one step ahead of us. Like, I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, Boyd.
And the Cherry Hill Gang is such a universal character for anybody who's had to work with somebody who just had power without intelligence.
Right.
And you just go, oh, my God, I wish I was Boyd. That moment when he had him in the bar, that was everyone who had a boss.
Absolutely.
That was everyone who had to deal with a jerk. That was like everyone's dream.
Yeah.
Just, oh, yeah, I know the 3 people I'd have there.
Exactly.
I'm fired. No, I quit.
That's the 99%.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. So, the Cherry Hill.
It was just a nice wrap up for the They get to live, which is good
For
for them.
now.
And
Well, if they pay.
And the hauler gets a DQ.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
And
and Harlan County needs another DQ.
That's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
What county doesn't need a
I will
DQ?
bet there's no fast food in Harlan County.
I would,
He says satirically.
I feel so bad because back when we were talking about Ava and Boyd earlier, I'm so rooting for Ava and Boyd.
I know, didn't that scene where you just going, I can't believe they're making us root for these people.
I know, and then when Boyd gets the best of the Cherry Hill gang, I was like, get him, Boyd. And then the DQ, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna have a DQ.
Yeah,
see?
They'll be legit. It's just
They're
so
all
sweet.
gonna live happily ever after.
Just if only Boyd,
Does anybody live happily ever after in Harlan
No.
County? Especially in
Yeah, well,
Justified
they
fashion?
call
I
it
don't think
hillbilly
so.
Shakespeare, and Shakespeare is mostly tragedy. There's some comedy and some historic, but mostly tragedy.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's move on to our final topic, which is Colt. And he's getting threatened, blackmailed, texted.
Mysterious text.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, can I say, what's up with Colton's 2001 cell phone? Is there a smartphones in Harlan County? I know it's the backwoods.
Well, but then it was a burner.
They're
He did throw it
burners.
away.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
that,
they're burners.
All right, that makes me feel bad. See that?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I'm like, what is with the?
No, it's just burner.
Oh my God! So when people ask me about mine, I can just go, "Hey man, it's a burner."
It's a burner.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
So not only will I be hip, I'll be like edgy and maybe a gangster.
But Steve, you gotta say like you have to ask.
You have to ask.
Yeah.
Burner baby.
It's burner, baby. That's it.
Well,
lose
Colt,
my number.
Finally,
No, I'll lose
I knew
it.
if I held on to it long enough, it would
There
be
you
cool
go.
again.
That's right.
Look
Even
at
phones are
you.
retro.
Yeah. So he's being blackmailed, and of course, did everybody know it was Johnny up front?
I had it as
You had a
Johnny from
feeling.
the
We knew it
beginning,
wasn't
yeah.
Ellen May.
Sure.
I didn't
I
believe
thought
it to be
maybe
Shelby.
it was Johnny's hooker, and I thought, that's really
It's too clever.
Because we
pretty much had to be Johnny.
Johnny was last
Johnny's
episode.
always
he was
working the
already,
angle.
Yeah, and he's already knew. And he's already kind of teasing about. So Ellen, so what did she say? And what happened? I think we want to see him play that out, and we still doesn't know what his end game will be. But now that he knows for sure, he's still sort of seeing what.
And Colt's
going
to find out, and then there's going to be a nice little thing there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he continues to, as we talked about last week, he continues to spin out of control and off the rails. With his body count's growing, and
I know.
the wake of his destruction is growing. But this time, as we know, I think he's sort of maybe killed the wrong person because he
killed Tim's
Right
buddy.
now, there was a scene later in the episode where Mark, Tim's buddy, has died, and we see Tim, and there's no results, no consequence there. It doesn't look like he knows about it yet.
I don't think Tim knows yet.
No.
I don't think they've discovered the bodies, and if they did,
but it comes to a head in the trailer.
Yeah, because
week.
first of all, the local police would get it, and I don't even think any of the local police would know that Tim necessarily knows this guy.
Of course,
So
no,
that would
you're
take
right.
some time.
I got it.
But he will find it eventually.
Oh,
and
of
so
course.
What are they going to do? They made a point of seeing him crush out the cigarette. Are they going to do DNA? What's the deal? What's that about?
it's
Well,
true.
remember we were talking about the two number twos going up against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
this will be obviously the reason for that, and we got to see it in the coming ups. They face each other.
And by the way, when they were doing that scene, the way they were shooting it, it's like, no, we're leaving lots of evidence.
Oh yeah,
here.
all over the
yeah,
place.
Look at
definitely.
what.
All over the place.
Look, it's
But
like.
the thing they did interestingly, and they do this quite often, they do it well. They lull you into this thing that, okay, maybe he isn't going to kill him. Maybe he's going to, because they're army buddies,
Over and over again in this episode.
Because I can see, okay, Colt, you're going, and he goes, no, it is your business now, and now you're going to work for me. I need your help because I want you to help. And boom, no, and then bang, it's like, damn, you got me again.
It was a really interesting written scene because it was, first of all, it was a moment to discover where Colt is exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that was that was obviously before he paid because he had to get there for the money.
Right.
So we got to see where he was, and you kind of using Mark as a sounding board. And I was just wondering, man, if the guy had given different answers, you wonder if maybe he shot him because he wasn't helping him. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
maybe he said, well, here's
that.
what we could do. He was
Yeah.
still like going, I don't know you. I don't know.
I mean, do you think that it was his intention all along to kill him, or was there some contemplating?
That's what I was
what am I going to do with
Originally-
this guy? He's got to go.
That's how it
Originally.
was interesting. That's that I poorly tried to say exactly that, which is you
let Jill
really
say it.
didn't know where Colt was
Right.
Yeah.
until, and you wonder, was it a spur of the moment thing, or did he figure he just needed this moment to get his head straight?
Or was he trying to figure out if Mark knew anything? Or what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I think drugs have taken, part
Effect
of
on him?
I think at least an effect in
Okay, I
that
can buy that.
decision.
Right.
I will say that if they do a biopic of Crosby, Stills, and Nash,
Yes.
Steve Crosby.
He should be.
That hair,
Yeah.
you know, between that.
Stephen Crosby when he puts those sunglasses on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The
I don't know.
haircut is
We'll have to
almost
find
sold
out
as
if he
a
can
cell phone.
sing.
And he has a guitar case
I
now.
mean, Stills.
You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the guitar was
Crosby
in
or
it.
Stills?
Stills.
Stills.
Not
sorry,
David
Steven
Crosby.
Stills. I'm sorry. Oh,
Crosby's hair
jeez.
is not, he has no hair.
Save the notes. We fixed it here. It's
Steve
Steven
knows
Stills.
it's different. He knows the difference.
Crosby has my
We're
hair.
live.
Uh,
Ay.
But we also got to see a moment with Ellen May, which people have
Oh,
wondered
well,
about.
I wonder who mentioned something about that
You
earlier.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
maybe. Don't
There's
break-
a lot
don't
of
break your arm
back
cutting
patting
yourself.
going
Again.
on over there.
Yes, there is.
I'll pat
Really?
your back for
Thank
you.
you.
There go.
This is the back pat table.
You guys gonna need a heating pad for the Mercedes? Crying out loud.
The arms in a sling.
Well,
Patting
you know,
yourself
but
in the
here's the thing, though. She's making the first move.
Yeah.
Well, and even that, I get it.
it's
I don't even
in
know if it's a
desperation.
move. I think this is uncharted territory. She's
Yeah.
still trying to, she wants to be the kind of woman that would belong in these clothes.
Again,
Right.
I think it's somebody trying to get out and
Yeah.
have a traditional life.
Right.
You
Clearly
know,
she
so
is. And doesn't even know how to talk to. Probably doesn't. Well, certainly not this gentleman. Doesn't know how to talk to him.
not at all.
Without it being, a furry guy,
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
you're gonna have sex with.
That was the thing I liked about that is her, I don't know for how long, but for a while, it's just played a role.
Yeah.
Whatever the John wanted, she
That's
was.
right.
Right.
And I think
Chameleon.
she's still trying to play that role here. Oh,
Clearly, because she's
well,
in somebody else's clothes.
Exactly.
And talking
Well,
about it.
she's
But
never.
the pain is her actual desire. Wouldn't it be fun if this were real?
Yes.
That sort of thing.
I thought they did a nice moment
that was good.
by showing the similarities in their lives.
Shelby
Shelby's wife left him, mom left her.
Right.
Just to so we have something in common, even though their ages are different, all that kind of stuff. And so clearly Shelby looked at her differently.
Yeah.
Is it?
It was those lovely clothes, those duds.
So-
Well, they would have to.
Jeans.
They would have to
Jeans,
leave
yeah.
Harlan, I think, if she wanted a brand new start.
Indeed.
Yeah.
She's
And
been-
stay alive.
She doesn't wear. I mean, I found that interesting as well, and also very touching because those. I mean, that's not family. I'm no. I'm no fashionista, but those clothes weren't the most elegant clothes at all in
they
the
were
world.
Abby's.
They're Abby's clothes. However, she was loved them, and she was like, "These clothes are so
It's like what
amazing."
but interestingly, Shelby and Abby have been separated for
Yeah.
25 years.
She got
has
some
these
clothes.
He's had these
Oh,
clothes
yeah,
still for 25 years.
Yeah, they looked about
Somebody
25
holding on to
years old,
something,
too, yeah.
Right.
pining away maybe.
So, yeah, absolutely.
What the hell is he doing with
That's,
clothes for
either-
25 years?
Well,
That's-
it's a
that's
guy.
a-
He probably never bothered to go into the closet.
Yeah,
He's just like,
But-
well, whatever.
It's not
that was
interested in
touching.
cleaning
And
up.
Ellen May Albee clearly doesn't wear clothes. I mean, she wears, that's what she wears. So.
Kimonos.
Now she's
Kimonos
getting
and bras.
And underwear.
Yeah, she's getting close to spilling the
Kimonos.
beans.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Well, she's
what
got
I
to
think,
trust him first.
and I think that's what that beat was.
Yeah.
Is look, yeah, maybe we can have this world, but you have to be totally honest with me.
Right, and also him showing that he knows there's something
Yeah.
going
Right.
on there.
He's yanking her. I mean, he's definitely leading her. Is it something with
So the
something with
question
Ava?
is-
Something you guys did together?
Right.
Was it on Tuesday? It was like, oh my god! Like it was
So,
a whole.
and then, so mom left.
Okay.
Exactly.
So mom left Ellen May to abandon her. So she ostensibly left with her father, I guess. I don't know. There's obviously got to be some sort of father issues
Yeah.
going on
Right.
there or something. So do you really think? You still think it's going to happen
I do.
between the two of them?
I do.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why
We'll
don't we wait? Let's wrap that up. We'll use that for
Right.
predictions.
Predictions.
So let's get into our news.
Oh. And now.
Sorry.
It's all right.
No, that's okay. We're doing.
I predict we're going right to news.
A couple of other comments that I forgot to get to.
Okay, go ahead.
A couple of people had mentioned that they were kind of upset we didn't a month ago talk about the Marshal Stiffy.
Oh yeah, we just didn't. Yeah,
It was just one of those great things that we never
plenty
got
of things
to.
we needed to talk about. We didn't get to.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Amazon just got the exclusive rights to stream Justified on over Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So Amazon Prime customers will now be able to watch the first 3 seasons of Justified for free, while non-members can purchase and download episodes at $1.99 a piece. Amazon Prime membership costs money and blah, blah,
Wait,
blah, blah,
Amazon
blah.
is going to stream it through Netflix?
No. Amazon has
got
its
it over
own
Netflix.
streaming.
Oh.
Like Netflix.
Oh, like
Exactly.
Netflix.
Instead of going to Netflix,
It's
Amazon
All
is
right.
going to be the
All right.
exclusive place for Justified to be
In
streaming.
competition.
So
Right.
that's interesting for Amazon. Good
Yeah.
get for them. There was a movie out 2007 called
Hitman.
that Timothy Olyphant starred in. They're doing a sequel to it. It was, you know, not super well received, not a huge hit, but they have decided
based off a
video game.
And I thought it was great. I thought it was a good movie. And I thought he was great in it.
Me too.
It was a not a huge success, but the studio Fox has decided that they are going to bring it back as a sequel. However, they are not casting Timothy Olyphant in the lead role. They've decided to cast. Oh my God! I just lost it.
That's okay.
Someone else.
Well,
it's not Timothy Olyphant, so we don't care.
Interesting. Why would they not go with him? Is it because he's not a big enough name, or they can't afford it? What's the deal? Because it depends on how they're gonna.
I do know for a fact that Raylan, that Timothy Olyphant did that movie right after Deadwood. He did it as a way, you know, just a quick aside on that. But he did that. The HBO promised him another 2 or 3 years with that. He's had a big deal with HBO to finish Deadwood, but they abruptly pulled it. So he kind of jokingly said, "Well, it looks like I'm going to Budapest to shave my head and film a movie to pay for my new house because he just bought a house."
Right.
So that's why he did that. So I don't think he needs the money to buy a house this time around.
No, I don't think so.
So maybe.
But here's the thing: if it wasn't as well received as they had liked, I'm just curious that they were just going to do another one. Not that they've never done a sequel, even though the first one hasn't been received well. But he's a bigger star than he was then.
It would be a good get.
Right. Yeah. It would be, and it could be just that he said no.
It could be.
Well, he's doing a lot more on Justified too.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
So
clearly,
it just may be a schedule thing.
Yeah, it could very well be. Just to harken back once to last week in the Graham Yost interview that's in Entertainment Weekly, we were talking about did Raylan or didn't he with Jackie.
Right.
In the shower at the end, they cut away.
Yeah.
And,
we never heard a resolution of that.
Graham Yost said, "We honestly want the audience to be wondering and have a question. We did film stuff of Raylan getting in the shower with her."
Oh.
You did, we did, and maybe it will end up in the DVD extras after dark, I'm thinking.
We're lucky.
So anyway, that's it for mine. You've got a couple of pieces.
Just really quick. I mean, this week, TV Guide, our show, this is for those watching on YouTube, TV's best drama, name is Justified.
With Timothy Olyphant on the cover.
Nice little spread on Tim there.
Nice
and interesting article.
Picture.
They talk a lot about to Graham. They talk to everyone in the article. So they spend a little bit of time there, talk to Tim and Graham and everyone else. But they really touch on the main things at how the show is successful, and it really sort of reinvigorated Elmore Leonard to write this novel Raylan, which a lot of the plot points in that novel he took a lot from season 3 and then expanded on that, and then the rest of what he did in that novel is sort of feeds season 4. So a lot of what we're seeing is stuff that, I haven't read the book yet, but now I'm really, I'm an Elmore Leonard guy, so I feel like I need to read this book now. But so that's why when we're seeing these story by Elmore Leonard's, that's what that's from, because it's the book, and he's already done some stuff. So these plot points are really extending all the way out to there. And they just talk about why it's number one, and why it's their number one drama, and how great stuff's happening. And read the article; it's fantastic.
Just one more thing, piggybacking rather on that.
I like backpacking.
From one of our fans wrote in that Jackie Nevada is a character from Elmore Leonard's novel Raylan. In the book, Jackie is a college girl and a brilliant poker player who's a minor fugitive.
Oh, see?
And that came from Rashad 26.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. We've got. Thank you for your.
Wasn't there someone else
comments.
that you wanted? Oh, okay, never mind.
No.
Oh.
No, there isn't anybody else we want to thank. But thank you.
What's the acronym?
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Appreciate that input. All right. That moves us to predictions.
Oh, good heavens.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV prediction.
I will say that one of our fans said that his favorite part of our show is the predictions.
Okay.
So,
well.
no pressure or anything, you guys.
Oh my God! Now we got to dance.
I'm gonna go against the
convention.
Convention here that I don't think that Shelby and Ellen May are gonna go out. I think it may look like that. She may want that, but at some point, I'm hoping he's gonna go. No, this isn't right.
He's gonna stay legit.
He's gonna try to. Yeah, he's gonna hopefully have the integrity not to.
Yeah, I think they're using it to get information.
So
the relationship.
I can agree with that one.
What else you got?
Well, the chess game is certainly afoot, and the pieces are being moved. I'm going to stay with my earlier one that I think one of the ones going down is
Johnny. No, not Johnny.
I just forgot his name. The guy in the motorhome.
Oh, Win Duffy.
Win Duffy.
Win Duffy. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't think Win Duffy will be long.
You don't think he'll last this season?
You don't think he's going to survive the
no,
season?
I think he's going to go.
I think that's a good one.
All right, anybody else?
Ava was when Ava and Boyd were together, and they were kind of, in this episode making their plans. She looked scared. when she was talking about, is there anyone bigger than Theo Tonin? And he was calming her down. So I think that we're gonna get some more Ava, and I think she's going to be very motivated by fear to do some of her bad things.
Ooh. Okay.
It's a little bit of a broad prediction, but that's what I'm going to say.
Oh, you're broad.
Do you have one, Joe?
I don't have one. I'll stick with my large one that Detroit's coming to town.
We're running out of time here, so I'm going to interrupt you for next week. We need to put in our votes for who the hell Drew Thompson is.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Nobody's even given up that prediction.
I've already got it. I already think it's it's Josiah Cairn.
You think it's
I do think it's
Gerald McCraney.
I think it's Gerald McCraney.
Because why would you bring Gerald McCraney in if it's not?
That was what I said when I said it. So there it is.
Okay, as we close, Marissa, tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm at Serafini TV.
And where else on what other shows?
And I also do Glee and Once Upon a Time.
There you go. Steve.
Oh, Bottomley Steven on the Twitters.
Joe.
At Joe K. Braswell on the Twitter, and also on the following on Mondays, Justified here on Tuesdays, and Americans on tomorrows. And I have a beautiful series on Grantland.com, ESPN's Grantland.com, on ESPN on Star Wars and Lucasfilm that you can check out.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Tamara.
I am at Tamara Berg on Twitter, also my website, tamaracentral.com, and I do Smash after this one on Tuesdays.
Okay. And you can find me by going to adventuresofserialbuddies.com or
I'm in that too.
TV.
Oh, music.com.
You can see our movie trailer. It comes out March 8th.
Yay.
The film comes out March 8th.
March 8th. The trailer's out now.
It's fun.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
LA,
Steve did
New York,
music,
Chicago,
Tamara costume,
San Francisco.
produced it. I'm
San
in
Francisco.
it. And yes, absolutely, go see it.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
And we will talk to you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.